Oh, yeah. We're going live. We're going live. This is your boy, Live Wire, and I'm back in the motherfucking building, people. So, what is going on? Today, we got some interesting news that I wanted to discuss, amongst other things, which is this game, Lawbreaker. I don't expect that you are very familiar with it. It's a game that's been shown at E3 for the last 2 years. It's a Cliffy B title. I forget the name of his fucking whatever the fuck his name is. His studio is, but it's a game from Cliffy B, and it's a game that nobody gives a fuck about. But soon people will give a fuck about this game, because now this game is going to be a timed exclusive for PS4. So now, this game that nobody gave two shits about, this game that nobody was talking about, this game that nobody said they even remotely kind of liked, is now going to be touted as the next best thing coming to PS4, and you book it. I'm telling you right here that people, especially the ponies, will try to sell you fucking shit and tell you it's gold. Because that's what they got left. All right, so I'm going to set this up. God damn it, you. Set this up so we could look at this Lawbreakers. I'm trying to find me a little I don't want a trailer, I don't need gameplay. Trailer doesn't mean shit. Let's do gameplay, beat people. Let's see. I'll find some decent gameplay up in here. Where the fuck? I usually try not to use IGNs because they're dicks. I always try to flag a motherfucker. Fuck you, IGN. You know what? I'll use this shit, whatever this is. Oh, pause that bitch. All right, expand. All right, here we go. Showing this shit off and talk about it for a second. This is Overwatch. I mean, not Overwatch, my bad. It damn near looks like it a little bit. It's like the Lawbreakers game. Now, right now, it's not going to be like Call of Duty. It's not going to be like, I mean, it's going to be very much like Overwatch. It's like these, team-based games. It's going to be like $30. Basically, there's no story, none of that shit. So if you're looking for a story, you're not getting that shit here. It's not that type of game. All right, which is fine. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's very, very much like capture the flag, domination, domination, shit like that, So it's okay. I don't like this is the thing about this what the fuck? Hold up. Hold on for a second, people. I gotta turn my render off for a second. There we go. All right. But yeah, so the game it looks like every other fucking first-person shooter, to be honest. It has elements of what you've seen with Titanfall, and you know what? I'm just getting tired of this shit. It's the same shit. There's other shit we just played. Yeah, it's a little bit different here and there, but it's really the same shit. I don't know, man. I mean, I think that's the reason why nobody gave a fuck about it in the first place. Like, this game has been out for a minute. like on alpha. Like people have been playing this shit for the last year and a half. They announced it 2 years ago. They had it at E3. They showed it again last year at E3. I think that's when they were really showing like who the people that were playing the alphas. Now they got people playing betas, and I guess it's supposed to release sometime in like I don't know, maybe August or September or some shit like that. I don't think it's going to be that far off. I would be surprised if it releases during the holiday. So more than likely, it's going to be during the summer, or if not during the summer, then they'll probably just hold it until the winter time. I mean, not the winter time, until January or so. You know, right after the holidays. Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. What do y'all think? I just don't give a fuck, and like these shits don't interest me. Like I just have no interest in this game. I never had interest in the game in the first place, so I'm not gonna act like now it's some game that I have interest in. Like, and anybody on the PlayStation that's saying that they have interest in this game, they're fucking liars. Because guess what? They didn't list this shit on any of their list of games that they were heavily anticipating playing. None of them. Not an Xbox dude. I ain't hear nobody say that shit. Not a PlayStation dude say, "Oh, I really want to play Lawbreakers." Nobody was saying that shit. Nobody gave a fuck. You know, a lot of people said, "What the fuck, Cliffy B? What the fuck is this shit?" You know, an arena shooter, really, sir, really. You know, we wanted something like story-driven, Gears of War type shit with solid multiplayer, not just like this jump around, shit, which is fine. It's just that it seems like we're just getting a ton of these type of games. Like, now how many of these shits do you want to play? Like, really? Like after, I mean, it's one thing to have a first-person shooter, but Jesus, can we like mix it up a little bit? Like this shit feel like looking at this shit right now, it looks like Titanfall mixed with Overwatch. It's over Titan. That's what it is. This is over fucking Titan. But I I just don't know. It's not my shit, yo. All right, let's see. What's up, Kurt? What's going on? Who's next? What's popping? See you up in here, Dr. Gauntlet. I'm about to look at some of your comments. P-Rod, what's good? Is the Xbox is taking a big L on this? Look how big Overwatch is. I don't really. I mean, I guess if you want to say so, is this what people really want? This shit? I mean, granted, I don't like Overwatch either. I don't think that game is that interesting to me either. I just don't want a bunch of the same shit. Like is this really a game Xbox really needs? I don't think so, man. Xbox already has a Halo. PlayStation doesn't have this is not. I don't know. What the fuck do you really want this shit? I'm looking at this shit and I'm just like so disinterested. Like, all right, am I supposed to? I don't see how I'm supposed to get excited for this. I don't know. It's just not for me, man. I mean, I guess it's cool to have all kinds of games. Whether or not they be repeated games of other games that you already played on your console, I guess. But to me, like this isn't the answer for anything because nobody cared about this game prior to it being announced that it's a timed exclusive for PlayStation. Like now that it's a timed exclusive for PlayStation, now people are talking about, oh well, this game might be interesting. But prior to that, nobody gave a fuck. And that's the thing. Nobody really cared prior to this. And what the fuck is my cord? That shit's all on the goddamn floor. I'm like, what the fuck? And my wife getting crazy up in here, just throwing shit around. Jesus. There we go. But yeah, man, it's like the game. like this shit looks all right, but I don't know. Like to me, this thing is, you know, like I don't know, man. It's just not for me. Not for me. I don't know. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Let me see. Let me see. Move that over. Let's see. They got Who's Next. I bought a PS4 for their exclusives. I have all the multiplayer on Xbox One S. Yeah, I feel you. You know what? Who's Next? The only people that complain about exclusives on Xbox are people that bought Xbox only for exclusives. And the only people that really complain about exclusives on PS4 are people that bought PS4 only for exclusives. People that bought the console to play exclusives and multiplats have no problem with those consoles. That's why it's always hilarious to me to hear people say that they could play, well, this console has no games and that console has no games. Well, that console has no games because you choose not to play your multiplats as well as your exclusives on it. I mean, that's to be honest. You know, like that's the thing, man. It's the fact that, look, if you plan to use the console to play all your games on it, you're straight. There should be no one telling you, oh, well, don't play this console because it has no games. Fuck out of here. They all have games, especially if you're going to make a console your primary for your multiplats. Like Scorpio is going to be the primary place for a lot of people to play because it's going to be the place that people want to play both their multiplats and the Xbox exclusives. Therefore, the people who get that console aren't going to want to leave. You know, they're going to be rocking out on that, just like people who have rocked out on PlayStation, you know, right now, saying that it has better looking multiplats. So when that shit switches over, those that felt that way before are going to feel that way again. And they're going to, like, if you have both PS4 and Xbox and you play primarily on PS4 because you think the multiplats look better there, and all of a sudden the multiplats now look better on Xbox, that's where you're going to primarily play. It is what it is, you know. You know, the games are going to look better there. I mean, what else is there to say? But this thing with the lawbreakers, it's just not impressive, man. It's just not it's a game that nobody cared about, that, you know, some people are going to tout as like, oh, look at this game. And my question is, well, where the fuck was this hype for this game? Like, this game was revealed a long time ago. Wait, so you weren't hyped at the reveal of this game of Lawbreakers? You weren't hyped at the reveal of the gameplay of Lawbreakers? You weren't hyped at the trailer? Nothing. There was no hype for this game. All of a sudden, it says coming to PS4 and Steam, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, this game is amazing. Wait, what the fuck just happened? Like, I don't like fucking Pokemon, but I'm not gonna get, if Pokemon magically came to fucking Xbox and all these people that love Pokemon are like, oh my god, Pokemon is amazing, I'm not gonna turn around and be like, oh my god, I gotta get Pokemon now. Like, no. If I didn't think this shit was interesting on Nintendo, why the fuck would I act like I like it now on Xbox? This shit is crazy, man. It's the same reason I didn't get Overwatch. I tried the shit. I was like, not my thing. You know, I tried Titanfall during the free play, Titanfall 2. I played that shit for the weekend, and I was like, hell no. This shit ain't like Titanfall 1. Fuck this game. Especially because most of the time you're going to be playing multiplayer. Single player is not even an option, really, with Titanfall. I mean, yeah, you play that campaign for like, I don't know, what, 8 hours, 5 hours, whatever it is. But then after that shit is over, it's not going to, you know, it might be, the story might be solid, but ain't no groundbreaking shit. Nobody's over there fucking Like, this is the game that changed my life. No, it's not happening. It's not that type of game. I mean, that's at least the story that they wrote ain't that way. So it's like, I don't know, man. I mean, I would say this: the people that are upset that the game went timed exclusive to PlayStation, I'll tell you this: it had to. It had to, and the reason why is because the media. Look, the media doesn't push Xbox exclusives. It doesn't. And I don't give a fuck if they're good or bad. They don't push them. They ignore Tomb Raider is a great game. They ignored it. Fucking Forza Horizon 3 with all its DLC, they don't go out their way and play all the maps and all that shit and be like, oh my god, do the map on this car and do the map on that car. And like if Forza Horizon 3 was a fucking PS4 exclusive, oh my god. Oh my god, you would hear about that shit all the time. It would be fucking like ridiculous. But because it's on Xbox, they don't do that shit. I mean, look, man, we all know it's biased. It is what it is. I mean, it is what it is. I at this point, it's like whatever. Fuck. I don't look. I don't expect anything to change when Xbox Scorpio drops. They're still going to be biased. The only difference between now and when Xbox Scorpio drops is the fact that the media can't harp on saying that Xbox is too weak to do certain things. They're just going to change all the narrative to, well, it doesn't have, focus on whatever game that Xbox doesn't have that PlayStation has. That's going to be the focus of the narrative. It doesn't matter if the game is good or not. Listen, if all the games on Xbox and PlayStation were the fucking same, and the difference was fucking Godzilla, that shitty ass game, guess what? The media will fucking tout that game as something that you need to play. Even if it's shitty, they'd be like, look, you can get both games on both consoles, but listen, PlayStation has a fan favorite franchise as Godzilla. Now, it's not the best game ever, but it's a game worth playing. People, it's worth playing and giving a shot. Just try it. You might like it. Like, that's what you're gonna see, with the media and dealing with Xbox and PlayStation. It doesn't matter at this point. They're just gonna find whatever the advantage is. They're going to tout that, because guess what? Microsoft will always have the advantage on online service. They never talk about that, hardly ever, right? They don't talk about that shit all day, every day. I mean, literally, the way that they talk about 1080p and all that shit, they could have talked about connectivity and secure online networks, but the media doesn't talk about that. They didn't harp on that. I mean, shit, all the online multiplayer games that we play and all the issues that PlayStation has from time to time, and all the downtime and all the fucking repairs and the scheduled maintenance and all that shit. All that shit. Yet they don't get lambasted for that shit. They don't get harped on for that shit. They get praised for, semi 1080p games and, varying fucking frame rates that, nobody even tends to harp on. Like Battlefield 1 runs way better on fucking Xbox, but they don't consider that to be a big deal. They're just like, fuck it. It's a little janky, but hey, it's 1080p. So what do you want? But hey, it's all about perspective, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, Lawbreakers, hey, if you think it's a cool game, I doubt it, because I didn't hear anybody. I've been on Twitter for a long time, and guess what? Today is the first time I've heard anybody mention Lawbreakers in like the last 2.5 years. Like, it's crazy. Like, it's crazy. Like, you would have thought this shit was like fucking what's that fucking game? Destiny or some shit. The way people are like, oh my god, it's exclusive. Like, bitch, when the fuck did you start talking about this shit? But who knows, man? Who knows? Who knows? What next, man? I mean, yo, it's crazy that it has to be like this. But the thing is, I did notice, and I was gonna say before that lawbreakers had to choose PlayStation because PlayStation games just get more shine. They just get that praise. They just get put up on a pedestal. It's the PS4 effect, man. It truly is. It's PS4 effect. If a PS4 game is exclusive, they push it up. I don't give a fuck if it's niche or not. They push it up. The media talks about it. They tout it. They be like, "Oh my god, look how good is this game!" Especially, it doesn't even matter if it's a 60 because you got to remember the order was like a 67 on Metacritic, and they still made articles. Well, guess why you're not crazy for liking the order? You know, remember that shit? You know, even though a lot of people said they didn't like that game, guess why you're not crazy for liking the order? See, with Xbox games, they just ignore them completely. You know, talking bad about them is one thing, completely ignoring them is another. That's if Halo didn't have the fan base that it did, I mean, let's be honest, that shit wouldn't be as successful as it is. Like the fact that Halo 5 has been doing numbers, destroying all other exclusives other than like Mario and shit, right? As far as numbers, probably making the most money because of the DLC than any other fucking exclusive. You know, it's crazy in the fact that the media doesn't hype it. They didn't go out and give it all fucking tens and then tell everybody how you got to play it, you got to play it. Because when Halo 5 came out, the first thing they did was hate on the story. They either said the story was mediocre or they hated it completely, right? And some places gave it, most places gave it a decent score just mainly on, the fact that, yeah, the story wasn't maybe not of their liking, but it still had great gameplay and the multiplayer was phenomenal, right? You couldn't deny that the multiplayer was great, except for a few. A few people did complain about big team battle not being there, which is crazy because they explained why it wasn't there. They even in the fucking when you go to the home screen, they tell you Halo Big Team Battle will be coming in December. The game launched in October. Motherfuckers still complained. It's like, yo, I'm telling you it's coming. You know, but like I said, Halo did not receive any of the hype of any of these PlayStation games. I mean, shit, Gravity Rush got more airtime and hype than fucking Halo did. That's crazy to me. Like, obviously, Microsoft paid for fucking ad rights, but I'm just talking about the media just pushing the game. I like media just pushing. They pushed the shit out of Gravity Rush, a niche game. I mean, they barely talked about fucking Halo Wars. I mean, which is just as niche, right? It probably sold a little bit more than Gravity Rush, and or maybe I don't know what the fucking numbers are, but I would assume they sold around the same amount. I know Gravity Rush sold like shit, which was crazy because they pushed the shit out of that game. They pushed the shit out of Neo, and I guess it was, Neo's more of a appealing game to gamers, especially the gamers that have that Souls itch. And we already know that Bloodborne sold fairly well, and Dark Souls sold fairly well. So people that are a fan of those franchises would definitely gravitate to Neo. So it made sense that it sold 1 million. But that game also got pushed like a bitch. Horizon Zero Dawn got pushed like a motherfucker, And I can't even say, like, at first I was like, all right, well, people always thought, well, maybe Sony's paying them off. They can't afford to be paying out everybody, man. Where is their fucking money going? You can't even do it. It's just they just ride with fucking Sony on everything. Well, I don't understand. I don't understand this balance. I don't understand if it's just this. We got to make sure Sony's back on this solid rock, its strong foundation. Make sure that it's cemented its spot back at the top. So I don't know. Maybe to balance things out. I don't know. I mean, we know Microsoft's not stressed for cash, but Sony was, and they changed their company around to fit, their financial situation. So now they're very much just an entertainment company, not so much a computer and hardware. I mean, they're barely doing TVs now. But it's crazy, man. It's crazy. I don't know. I don't know. I wish things would just be looked at more equally. Maybe it's just me. I'm just tired of seeing uh PlayStation praised for mediocrity and Xbox's its success is being completely overlooked. Because I don't see that. How does that benefit any of us? Like when they make good games, but they're completely ignored. Like the media be like, "Oh well, nobody bought Sunset Overdrive." Bitch, you didn't play it. Like the thing is, like I could understand if Sunset Overdrive came out and the media was pushing it, they're pushing it, they're pushing it. Oh, but play on Sunset Overdrive. It's a great game. No, they reviewed it well. They gave it 80s, but they completely ignored the fucking game. They didn't say why you should play it. They didn't hype that shit like fucking Gravity Rush. Go see if I can find. Like this shit is crazy, man. The way these motherfuckers just hyped up Gravity Rush and all this shit. Because those motherfuckers did mad fucking Gravity Rush Let's Plays, yo. Let's see. I don't know. I don't want to put up any of these. Fuck it, I'll just leave it. But I don't know, man. I maybe I'm an old fogey, man. Maybe I'm just old and I don't get it. Like the shit that is popping now. The fuck? Oh, my TV just turned on and shit. What the fuck? Alright, whatever. I'll play that later. I do want to play some Phantom Dust. But yeah, man, I can't believe motherfuckers went out and bought this Persona 5 shit like that. That shit is like I don't get it, man. I don't get this shit. Like I look at this shit and I'm like don't get me wrong, I understand motherfuckers that like all right, when I went to school, everybody had those guys or girls that were all like, I am Japanese, like fucking had tattoos that were in hiragana and kanji and fucking all that, shit. Motherfuckers walking around practicing martial arts on the grass and shit. I'm like, what the fuck? What are y'all motherfuckers doing? But what I give to Persona, even though I think it's like it's that turn-based shit is what's whack to me, man. The art style is dope. I'm not gonna lie. Artistically, it's a pretty fucking game. Like it's mad colorful. Mad colorful. But that I don't know, man. That Japanese hardcore Japanese style with the fucking cat ears and I just never got that shit. I don't know. Maybe the kids growing up on those cartoons and maybe they like that shit more. I don't fucking get it, man. Fucking big eyes and putting their fucking like they're embarrassed and have little red shit under their cheeks. I'm just looking at this shit like, what the fuck, man? How's this shit go? I remember when they fucking changed X-Men. When I was a kid, I grew up on X-Men, Spider-Man, Batman, the animated series, shit like that. Not this fucking Pokemon, Sailor Moon, uh fucking Naruto. I just don't get it. Like, my brother liked Naruto for the longest, and I still couldn't get it, man. It wasn't something I particularly cared for. I was just like, I don't know, man. I was bit by the anime bug for maybe 2 years, where I would watch shit here and there, and probably Dragon Ball was like the furthest I would go. And then after that, it was just over for me. I was just like, yo, this shit is dumb. I don't know. One day I just woke up. I was like, yo, this shit is dumb. I just can't. I gotta grow up. I can't watch this shit. But you know what the thing I was noticing? It was like the motherfuckers that didn't grow out of that shit were fucking weird, man. They were very fucking weird. They became like very timid men. Or they would always make like crazy ass sound effects and shit. Shit was crazy, man. Like when you're, the shit was wild. Like you be sitting with having a conversation with a motherfucker in class, and you going over some like classwork shit. He don't agree with your shit, and all of a sudden you're like arguing back and forth. All of a sudden this motherfucker be like, you be like, what the fuck? What the fuck is going on? You be like, yo. I'm like, yo, what you doing, man? Like, calm down with that weirdo shit, yo. What the fuck you grunting like this for? Like, he about to fucking bust out and start trying to do his fucking keys on me and shit. What kind of shit is this? I don't know, man. You got a lot of these dudes, and the funny thing is, man, it's in every community. Like, it ain't just white kids, it ain't just black kids. But the kids that probably don't do it is the Asian kids, which is the craziest shit. The Asian kids are the ones that do it the least. Especially when you're talking about America. Like, if you look, I remember my boy John. I had a boy John. He was actually Japanese, right? His parents from Japan, they moved to America. And then you got this dude, Nick, Texas, right? This dude swore he wanted to be Japanese. Like, he swore. He's a big fat Texan, and he wanted to be Japanese so bad. And he would just act so fucking weird, yo. The shit was crazy. It's just like, yo, you're not Japanese, man. So stop trying. Like, just stop. And John is just looking at him like, yo, what the fuck is up with this guy? Like why the fuck is he keep on acting like this, like an anime cartoon? He was like that's some shit you see like a child do, like fucking imitate, cartoon shit on in real life. Like, I remember when we were kids and we would watch the movie The Mask, and everybody run around saying smoking and shit like that. Oh, smoking, or fucking Ace Ventura, and you'd be running around and be like, alrighty then, all the time, right? But when you're an adult, you don't do that shit in your fucking 20s and up. Like, you look like a fucking herb. But these motherfuckers they really on that shit. I got my other boy, man. Like, he's a comic book nerd, and he's lost his goddamn mind. I'll be sitting there trying to tell him, like, yo, D, yo, you my boy, and I'm trying to maintain faith in you, sir. But you going to fucking every Comic-Con or cosplay, whatever the fuck, every other weekend. One, that shit putting a big ass hole in your fucking wallet. Two, I mean, unless you're gonna find a girl there that likes that shit as much as you, I don't see the fucking point in doing this shit. Like, cause this shit is crazy, bro. And he wondering why he can't get no pussy. Because most of the pussy that he's looking for ain't that Comic-Con shit. Most of those girls that go there get paid. They get paid. Talking about the good looking ones. Yeah, there's a bunch of ugly, fugly looking motherfuckers at those cosplay places, but y'all not looking at them. Y'all ignore those motherfuckers all day. Be like, I don't want that ugly ass bitch. I want that one right there with the cute little outfit on. Yeah, I want her. Yeah, guess what? Her ass is getting paid. You know, whether or not she's working for somebody directly or she got her own YouTube channel and trying to get your ass to watch her episodes all day, every day, and going to all these cosplay places, getting all you motherfuckers just hooked on her ass. And then she just got her channel playing video games and cosplay outfits, and you watching her videos, giving her like 35,000 views a video. She is working. But motherfuckers don't get that. They think they're gonna find they fucking cosplay wife at these places. I'm like, yeah, well, you got a better chance of winning the lotto, but okay. That's what you want to do, sir. But yeah, man, I don't know, it's just wild shit, man. It's wild shit. I don't know. This gaming in general is becoming very interesting, man. It just is. Like the funny thing is, you see, Xbox dudes sound like PlayStation dudes. PlayStation dudes sound like Xbox dudes nowadays. Shit's crazy. Like it's like PlayStation is starting to get all these fucking shooters more than necessary. You know what I mean? And it's crazy, man. It's crazy. And Xbox dudes are like, yo, we got a variety, yo. Let's play more indies and shit. This shit is crazy, man. Like I was looking at when fucking Little Nightmare came out, man, motherfuckers was playing that shit. Mad motherfuckers was playing that shit. It's like you see more people playing fucking indies and shit like that on Xbox. When you go to PlayStation, everybody playing fucking Overwatch and fucking not Destiny, the other fucking game. That other fucking shooting game, whatever the fuck, there's so many goddamn shooting games. The other fucking one, whatever. And now they'll be playing lawbreakers and shit. Another fucking mediocre ass fucking shooter. Fuck that. I'd rather fuck that game. Fuck lawbreakers. I'd rather them do Phantom Dust. Man, I'm fucking enjoying the shit out of Phantom Dust. That shit is old, but that shit is fun, man. I need them to go back to the lab and figure out a way to get a story with that bitch. Multiplayer, like that shit is so fucking deep. That shit is so fucking deep in multiplayer. That shit is insane, yo. Like the combinations of how to fucking fight people and knowing counters and this shit is insane. Yo, son, I got a fucking move yesterday. Like, I'm sorry. So I'm playing fucking damn, I can't remember the name of the shit because I just literally just got it. It's like Dari's Claw or something like that. It's some ability where you can grab somebody and fucking take some of their, like, you injure them at the same time you take on some health back. So say if I was at level 5 and I grab them while they're trying to run away, then I might bump up to 8. You know, like that shit is dope. And then you have the shit the crawler where you can shoot this shit in the ground and that motherfucker just chases that dude. So you gotta block it, or you gotta find a way to get away and run the timeout before it gets to you. But yo, I'm fucking enjoying the shit out of Phantom Dust, man. Like I said before, man, it's not a pretty game, but that game is fun as fuck, man. Best indie title. Because basically that's how I look at it. But it's the best indie title I played probably ever, man. Shit is great. It's definitely the best Japanese game I've ever played, hands down, not even a question. Best one. That shit got longevity like a motherfucker. Because that multiplayer is serious. Like if you look up, if there's guys online, like the hardcore Phantom Dust players, like these guys, number one, hold up, Fighting Cowboy. I was watching this dude, Fighting Cowboy. This guy was buying packs like there was no tomorrow. He was like, yeah, like because he already played Phantom Dust, so he was like, fuck it, I'm gonna get on there. I'm not gonna play the story. I already beat that shit already. So he just got on the multiplayer, started buying cat packs. He's like $5.99, or I think it's $5.99, $4.99, whatever the fuck it was. But he bought like 3 or 4 of them shits. and just started rocking out. You know, got a couple of decks going. Just was, you know, doing his thing. But you know, the depth of his understanding of how the game worked is like, whoa, I got a ways to go, because this guy knows, like, obviously he played a lot of the game, so he already knows what each ability is. What are the ranges and counters and all that shit. So I was like, man, and these dudes is in there going hardcore. Like you got some guys in there that been playing Phantom Dust since that bitch launched, and they haven't really been playing online because the server's been going, but they've been playing that shit, co-op on 360 and fucking some people on the OG, and that shit looks good. Like the quality of your television is going to determine how good Phantom Dust is going to look, but it's going to look better than what it did on the OG. Because trust me, when you see those cutscenes at the beginning of the game, that's that OG shit, not the fucking CG shit. The fucking in-game cutscenes that they have, that's what the OG Xbox version look. And when you look at that shit, you be like, damn, this shit's rough. This shit rough than a motherfucker. Oh shit. But then the game actually starts, and then you don't have all that fucking, crazy blur and all that shit. And then you're like, oh shit, okay, I can fuck with this. Because before, when I was looking at the in-game cutscenes, I was like, yo, from the OG, I was like, yo, this shit is gonna be ugly. Even though the fucking main crack character does look like an ugly motherfucker, he looks like a fucked up Michael Jackson plastic surgery. Like this dude looked like he was like Michael Jackson, and the fucking doctor just started cutting into his face, and the blade got stuck, and then he just got another one and started cutting into his face. The blade got stuck, and then he did the other side, and the same thing happened. He was just like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna just leave it. You're gonna just walk around with fucking razor blades in your face and shit." I was like, "Yeah, this thing look crazy." Yo, but this shit is hot though. I must admit, this shit is hot. Multiplayer, you see a lot of people playing as the girls on multiplayer, because she's probably the best looking character. I think they got a selection of, I think it's like 8 people you could choose from. You could change their colors and all that shit. But yeah, man, Phantom Dust is the shit now. I need to give me a tournament now. But yeah, I don't know. This Lawbreaker shit is. It's for those that like it. I mean, kudos. It's gonna eventually come to Xbox, similar to like Rocket League and all that other shit. So if you want to play it then. I have no interest in it, so I'm not gonna act like I do. It is what it is. But let me look at. I'm gonna go through these comments real quick before I jump. What the fuck? God damn it! Where's my shit at? Wait, what's this? This Phantom Dust? I don't know. I don't know what the hell that was. All right. Hold up. Wait, bitch, let me back. What the fuck, yo? Oh, here we go. No, oh, you son of a bitch. Here we go. All right, let's see what's turn that shit down. Joe Sinister, Phantom Dust was originally made by the same guy who created Panzer the Dragon. Word? I ain't even know. That's what's up. Oh, hopefully he makes another one. Shit, I'm telling you, man, that Phantom Dust is deep. That shit was crazy. Like that Phantom Dust for a game that's like the first one, like, and how deep it is, and like, yo, I don't know how long it took them to make that game, but you could tell they put a lot of time into that shit. The fact that, how everything's balanced, and like just the way it just works so well. You don't never really feel cheated and shit. You just feel like, all right, you just outsmarted me, did something that I ain't think about. Like, that's what's up. Dr. Gauntlet, I love Phantom Dust now, making the deck is surprisingly fun. You know what? You're right. Because I was playing Phantom Dust, and I probably spent like 10 to 15 minutes just fucking with the deck. It's straight up like, all right, how am I mismatch? And you all like the thing is when you start it off, you think you have a great deck, and then you're like, nah, this shit don't work. And then you just go back and be like, I gotta find something else. And then you got the thing I realized is you're gonna have to have decks for certain areas that you go. Because depending on like how wide open shit is, it will determine what kind. Like you don't want to have all close range shit when motherfuckers is picking you off from a distance, and you don't want to have all long range shit when you just run around in tight corridors. So, you do have to know how you want to arrange your deck in order to be successful in that game. It says, Master Jazz '09. People say Phantom Dust. Uh, Bought random cheap decks and still own. But I mean, well, you know what? What you could do is what you could do is for Phantom Dust. It depends on who you're playing. Like you don't gotta spend money for it. But I mean, obviously, if you hardcore and you played the first one, then all right, you're gonna spend money. I was talking to my boy 100 yesterday. I was basically saying how like the people that are really hardcore Phantom Dust players, they don't care that they have to spend money for the packs because to them they just want one, they just want to play, and one, they want to have the best abilities to play. You know, and you giving them the option to buy the decks instead of having to play through the game again, which they already did. To them, that's way better than you only giving them the option to play through the game again to obtain the abilities. Because to me, it's like it's no different than like I think I said it on GRG is like having the what was it, the park hopper ticket or whatever, not park hopper ticket, it's the whatever, the speed pass or whatever, where you get on, like you go to Great Adventures or Disneyland and you get that, pay like 75 or $100 for extra so you can get on all the rides faster. Like you go on the speed lane, right? That's basically what their Microsoft is offering to these players. They don't have to do that, but they want to. They've already played the game multiple times, beaten it multiple times. They're not trying to go back in there and play that shit again because they already know the story. Like me, I'm still trying to finish it. I'm trying to figure out everything that's going on. And in the process, I'm learning how to play the game while playing the single player. See, if you already know how to play the game and you already know what the story is, there's really no need for you to go into the campaign unless you want to do that all over again. You know. Okay. Oh, Archie. All right, I'm gonna jump you up. Let me go to my shit right here. What the hell? Oh, here we go. All right, I sent it to you. You know what? I'll do it. I sent it. I'll send you the other one too. Hold up. With my fucking Twitter? Twitter, bitch. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, I see you. All right, so I sent it to your Twitter and I sent it. The other one might have went straight to your email. Oh shit! You know what? I gotta get my headphones so they don't hear you twice. Cause I got the shit on mute right now. All right, there we go. Let's see. But yeah, so that's my shit. Phantom Dust. That's what I'm addicted to right now. Oh, you talking about is yeah, Dwayne talking about the shit he used to watch, Voltron, Transformers and shit. Hell yeah, GoBots, the bootleg ass fucking Transformers. I used to have them shits. They used to be my shit, man. I used to have all kind of GI Joe. Yo, Argy, what's going on?
Hey, buddy.
Okay, there you go. I can hear you. What's up?
Hey, how you doing?
Not bad, not bad. Just talking about lawbreakers and amongst other shit in my new addiction, Phantom Dust, because I'm a
Yeah.
crackhead for that game.
I haven't jumped into Phantom Dust yet, but it for me like it's really old, so like play it at all when it came out. So like I might jump into it in the future, but old for me. So I'll have to see.
Yeah, it is
See
old.
about.
It's like what it's like. Uh, it does take some getting used to. You know what I find? I find myself playing it equally on my PC as well as my Xbox.
All right.
Because my TV's kind of old. Like it's 1080p, but it's old, and like graphically, the game looks better on my PC because my monitor is obviously
Mm-hmm.
better than my television. Um, but I can't wait till I get 4K because then that shit'll look way better on my fucking Xbox. But that's not
Oh
for
yeah.
time now. I'm gonna wait on
Yeah.
that. I don't need it. I don't need it today. But yeah,
I jumped in during your discussion about the Lawbreakers with the PS4.
yeah,
Um, so like with Lawbreakers, like there's so many great games coming out this year. That's kind of just going to be like something for like the PS Plus owners, and like there's really no substantial reason for Xbox players to even give a fuck about that game being a timed exclusive for that console. Um, but the thing I got out of the whole conversation and the thing that you were getting at was basically, you know, and this is almost like a hit on Microsoft. Why does Microsoft decide to not pick up these exclusives that would benefit the gold members and also just the player base in general? Why do you think like they decide to not purchase exclusive rights to a lot of these PC titles, these titles that have come from the PC?
I don't know. I don't know. To be honest, I don't understand how that works per se. Like what Microsoft. I mean, they have the shit that they do with the preview program, and they have some game that's coming out. I'm trying to remember. Fuck, I can't remember.
They
Oh, you
definitely
know
have
why?
like their
Because they're getting. You know what? Whatchamacallit is about to get Lawbreakers, but I'm hearing that Xbox is about to get Underground. Or what's it? No. What's that game that everybody's playing? That fucking run around and shoot 100 people shit.
oh battlegrounds.
Battlegrounds.
I
That's what
forget
it is.
the tagline, but it's like battleground something. Yeah,
Yeah.
that looks pretty cool. I did hear that as well. With about the new Microsoft kind of pulling back from um going after AAA exclusives and kind of catering towards indie exclusives.
Yeah, I don't. You know what? I don't know. I mean, to me, all right. This
It
is how I feel about for Lawbreakers. Lawbreakers had no hype. Nobody cared. Nobody cared about that game. The game's been talked about for like the last 2 years, and still nobody had cared. Nobody said anything about
Yeah,
Lawbreakers until they announced today that it'll be time exclusive for PS4. Now people are saying, "Wow, I got to play Lawbreakers." I'm like, "What?" But to me, it
yeah,
makes sense because if think about it, if they said it's exclusive to Xbox, yes, Xbox guys might say, "Oh, now I got to play Lawbreakers." But guess who wouldn't say that shit? The media
the media.
and PlayStation hardcore fanboys. So, and there's more hardcore
Yeah,
fanboys of PlayStation than there are Xbox. It's just fact. Fact. There's no debate. You can go to look at Microsoft's YouTube channel versus PS4's YouTube channel. That's 5 million versus almost 2. It's a difference. So, therefore, it is what it is. So they just probably looked at it as like it benefits us to have it exclusive on PlayStation. Because even if people
Yeah.
don't buy it like crazy, the fact that it's on PlayStation first guarantees us more. It works better in their benefit to have it on PlayStation first because Xbox guys will buy it when it comes to Xbox. But PlayStation guys have not shown that anything that's exclusive on Xbox first that they'll buy on PlayStation. You see what I'm saying? Like, look at the
Yeah.
games like Tomb Raider did not sell well on PlayStation. Look at the games like fucking Titanfall did not sell well on PlayStation. Like all these games that came to Xbox first that then go to PlayStation, they just tend not to sell well one way versus the other. You know?
Yeah. Uh, Phil Spencer was saying in an interview, I think it was about 2 weeks ago, he was saying that for the future of exclusivity for the Xbox console, what they wanted to do was kind of bring it back to more of an indie exclusive, uh, going after these huge AAA titles to bring to the console. And they said he said something about being having more players being able to play more games, and a lot of people aren't buying $60 games anymore. They're buying the $20 indie titles, so they're kind of is they want to start to pick up which
Well, I mean, I
which
guess that. Well, I can say that. I guess that could
they,
make sense in one respect, right? All right, you have Sony who buys up all the AAA or most of them, right? Maybe not all because it wouldn't make sense to buy all, but most of them, right?
no,
And then Microsoft
yeah,
buys
they
up
have a
all
really
the
good set of AAA.
yeah. So then the Microsoft buys up all the indies. Well, not all the indies are created equally because I think I'm not saying they do, but I would assume that Microsoft also has the deal for what's that that the Witcher dev CD Project Red's next game
Hmm.
something
Okay. Yeah, Cyberpunk
Cyberpunk. Yeah, so
uh,
you would assume that
2077 or something like that.
they probably have the deal for that. They could possibly have the deal for something like Star Citizen or some shit like that. Uh, they could now I don't know if it's exclusive, but you know the marketing deal for something like that. Um, and you know, I mean, there's tons of other indies coming out that we have even no idea of. So maybe
Yeah.
they're just looking at that approach. So
And the big thing I would probably stress to a lot of, people that only own the Xbox, the big thing I'd stress to them is once E3 comes, it's going to be a totally different discussion because once we know about this Scorpio and once we know about the new set of titles that they have planned for 2018, I think this discussion is going to be a lot different when it comes to, picking out this exclusive or that exclusive. I think these consoles, these uh, Sony and Microsoft, they are going in very different directions.
yeah,
Sony is kind of sticking to the um, console launch. So, like, their next console will be PlayStation 5, whether, an Xbox is going more of a iterations where instead of leaping a whole new generation and leaving so many people behind, they're going to just up the hardware and up the capability of their system. So, what they're doing is like, I would say that E3, it's going to be a different ball game once we know about this Scorpio and once we know the exclusives that are coming for Xbox One and the Scorpio. Um, there's just very blocky and very cloudy to really determine whether or not Sony is in the has the echelon over um, Xbox because currently have really great um, party titles, but they all have the third party titles like Overwatch and Destiny and Call of Duty. Those big titles, um, like Last of Us, everyone knows The Last of Us 2 is probably going to be an awesome game, but that's also going to be a game that I would say just everyone who bought an Uncharted is going to buy The Last of Us. That market's already set. What Xbox is doing, they want to their market. So they don't care if you have a PlayStation and then you buy The Last of Us. They just want their console next to your PlayStation so that they can have you exclusives as well. Instead of trying to play this game over, we have this exclusive, so buy our console and neglect the other console. They really don't care at this point. At this point, they want to make a console that can go into every single person's home and it not have to be this for exclusivity, when at the end of the day people really just care, like the mass majority really just care about the third party titles like Destiny and Call of Duty, those titles that have multi-platform audiences. So it's just it's a weird conversation, especially when you're bringing in like Lawbreakers. It's I was upset when what was the game? It was this new MMO that launched on PC, I think about year and a half, 2 years ago. And that has just come to PlayStation, and it's been exclusive for about 2 months now. I'm trying to remember the name of it. But I really wanted to play that.
There's something else.
It's kind of like you're like a centurion. It's gonna come to me in a second. God damn it! Let me.
Not Warzone. It's something else. Not what was it? Warframe, not Warframe.
No, Warframe's great though. But no, it's Skyforge. That is the name of it.
Oh, okay.
And Skyforge is a pretty cool looking MMO, and I don't dive into too much into the MMOs, but that one looked really cool. And Sony has a knack for the PS Plus players by giving them exclusive free games, and normally it's just timed exclusives. Microsoft, they give their play, like the gold membership is beyond better than PS Plus, mainly just because you have the three. You have a huge market of discounted games every month. Sony tries to do that, but Sony mainly tries to keep their members pleased with the exclusive free titles, which there's some free titles that come to Xbox, but at the end of the day, like, they're both really good consoles. They're both really good at what they do. Like, were you looking forward to playing what is it, Lawbreakers at all?
Hell no. I didn't.
No?
I wasn't looking forward to it at all. That was the thing. Like, nobody was. Well, I wouldn't say nobody, but majority. Like, when they spoke about this when it came out to E3, not last year but the year before, nobody cared. Like, people were like, "Oh, okay, I got to see more." But and then when they showed the gameplay, then it was like, all right, I get it."
Did this title launch already on PC, or is this launching alongside PlayStation and PC?
Been out for a while, similar to Overwatch. Like, Overwatch, they've been playing alpha beta for like a year. So the same type of thing with Lawbreakers. They've been playing that for a while. So
yeah, I mean, I'm super excited just for those those third party titles like Destiny. I think that it's going to kill this exclusivity type of crap where are kind of like trying to please their fan base, when at the end of the day, a lot of people do own both consoles and own both, but like people like us that don't really care about what the other consoles are doing, trying to please me with an exclusive, I would rather these games just be on every fucking platform so everybody can play it. But with this market being so vile that people have to kind of steal the rights for things, it just leaves no room for gamers to really thrive. It's these companies that are thriving at the end of the day.
I mean, but I feel that they had to go exclusive. Like, to me, this game nobody would care if it launched I mean, it might have did well enough, but not on the level of that it's going to do now that it's considered to be a timed exclusive for PlayStation. Because, like I was saying before, the media is going to do like all these videos. Like, look at a game like Gravity Rush that the media pushed just because it was a PlayStation exclusive. Like that game, even though it was a good game, there's a lot of Japanese games that come out, but they never talk about it. For whatever reason, they talked
Yeah.
about Gravity Rush because it was a decent game and it was an exclusive. You know, like that's just kind of like the climate of gaming. Unfortunately, it doesn't work both ways. You know, that's why I feel like games like Sunset Overdrive kind of got shitted on. You know,
Yeah,
yes,
and
it got an 80, but like the media completely ignored it, like it didn't exist. You know.
Yeah, and I think that was Sucker Punch that put that out. Same people that are doing the Spider-Man.
Oh yeah, Insomniac. Yeah.
Insomniac, you got it. I really enjoyed that title, and I think what I don't understand is why are these developers? What is it that they go off of when choosing what platform they're going to give exclusive rights to? I don't quite get the marketing idea behind it because
Money,
like
probably.
yeah, I would guess that that the platform would pay them a lot of money to give them exclusive rights. But the thing with titles like the new Spider-Man game, it's not like it's going to push people to go out and buy those consoles. So in return, I don't quite get why Sony or why Xbox would really want to buy these third-party titles and make them an exclusive first-party title. I don't get that mindset, especially when it's just when these companies don't have our interests in have our best interest in sight, they make these type of decisions. And in the end, I think the whole thing is going to flip. It happens almost every generation. PlayStation 2 was the biggest console ever. It's still today is one of the best selling consoles of all time. And then we saw Xbox 360 flip the switch, and Xbox 360 became the best selling console during that generation. And now we see that flip again where Sony is bringing in console numbers that are huge. And I think with this next generation coming, I think that with the Scorpio being a new iteration and a overly powerful console, I think we're going to see that switch again. And I think Microsoft has some things behind closed doors that they're not ready to talk about yet because it's not um, as a battle strategy. It isn't quite the right time to talk about it.
Yeah, what I feel is this generation we haven't really got that big generation game yet to me. You know,
I think they're coming.
yeah, for PlayStation, for PS2, you had games like that was on. Well, I think but God of War was introduced on PS2.
Mhm.
Not Metal Gear. Metal Gear was already on one. Damn, I'm trying to remember. What they have, SOCOM, some shit like
Yeah,
that.
they had the Ghost Recons. They had Call of Duty. A lot of big franchises grew from that generation. And
Yeah,
with 360, there was a lot of really great 360 and PlayStation 3. There was a lot of great titles. And I
yeah,
think when we look back on this generation, I do think we saw a lot of really cool titles. I think a lot of them were held back by um, developers trying to cater to last generation's audience, which
yeah.
kind of
That too. But I think that also this generation. Well, you know what? With Xbox, they've always had like, all right, PlayStation. Every generation has had that new. They usually have two new franchises that they kind of have paved their future forward. And Xbox always has that one megaton, right? The first one was Halo, the second one was Gears of War. and
Uh-huh.
they're really waiting on that next one to come. So whether that's going to be Crackdown or State of Decay, I'm not sure which one it will be.
Yeah.
Shit, it could be Sea of Thieves. Oh, well, then again, I forgot about Minecraft. I keep on forgetting Minecraft is like the most successful Xbox game there is, but it's on
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. And well, I think that's what Microsoft is doing now. They're buying exclusive rights to these indie titles, and then they're going to allow other platforms to host those titles, and that only brings more funding into Microsoft to put into more indie titles to fund. And I think if you really think about it, these some games that would have been a exclusive last generation are now just going all platform. I think imagine if Xbox or PlayStation, either one, were able to pick up Destiny and were able to have that be an exclusive title to their platform. That would be huge, and that would be a new Halo. That would be at that level. But since it
Yeah,
wouldn't be in the best interest for Bungie to sell exclusive rights to either of the platforms, that allowed the franchise to grow into this megaton that almost killed. I believe Destiny killed Halo, and I say that because I think most of those Destiny players were diehard Halo fans, and when Halo 5 came out, they thought that this is going to be this is going to be the resurrection of this title that we all want. We want this to be great, and when it came out, it wasn't Destiny, so they just went back to Destiny. I think Destiny killed the Halo franchise, and I think that a lot of these third-party titles that aren't exclusive to any platform are going to start to come in and snipe out a lot of these exclusives that these platforms hold, and that's the type of dynamic that is occurring moving forward with both platforms, I think. And that is just my read on it.
yeah. Well,
And
I don't know about killing Halo. Halo still is outdoing every other Halo that came out
yeah,
before it.
but I'm critically, it didn't do well, and that's what I mean.
Well, yeah, but that we're talking about the story. So that's where. But see, that has been pretty much like I noticed critically. If the story isn't to the critics pleasing, whether or not the game because think about it, Halo 4 critically did well. People didn't like the multiplayer. That's why it struggled.
Mm.
People are like, "Oh, well, the game is so good." Did you play? Did you guys who are critics play the multiplayer? Yeah, I played a match or two. Well, guess what? It doesn't live or die playing the story. People only play it once, maybe twice. It lives or die playing the multiplayer, and that's where you can see where Halo 4 has a great story that everybody really liked, but the multiplayer a lot of people didn't stick around for. Versus Halo 5, people didn't necessarily all like the story at all, but the multiplayer they keep on growing, more so than any other Halo before it, which is insane.
Yeah,
But it's up to 343 to kind of get both right at the same time. At this point, don't fuck up the multiplayer. Just fix the story.
yeah,
That's all you got to do. Fix the story. Don't mess with the multiplayer. You can add some stuff, but don't go crazy. All right, people don't want you to go crazy. You already fixed the stuff we liked, like grabbing onto ledges and pulling up. Because I used to hate missing. That shit used to get on my nerves.
yeah,
So but yeah, to me, exclusives are, I mean, you're going to see exclusives for certain things, mainly first party, of course, because you need those to show what your console can do. And
yeah,
you also you're going to have exclusives for smaller titles like Cuphead, basically projects that were intended to be one thing, and then they blossomed to something else because they got funding from Microsoft. Like Ori and the Blind Forest. Ori and the Blind Forest got picked up by Microsoft and then became what it is now. So, and the same thing is expected to happen to Cuphead and Below whenever the hell that game comes out. That's
yeah.
just been in development forever.
What I'm trying to think about is what will be Microsoft's Naughty Dog? what development team is going to bring that level of procurement to a title that then drives Sony players, PlayStation players, to go out and pick up an Xbox because they're not able to play that exclusive.
You know,
I
shit.
want to know what.
Currently it's Turn 10 and Playground Games. That's probably the best Xbox, the most critically acclaimed. Everybody who plays those games loves those games as far as racers. But you know, racers aren't typically known as like a big franchise, not like they used to be back when PS2 and PS1 and the original OG Xbox were around. Like everybody played racers back and shit. Even
Mm,
Xbox 360's racers were pretty big. I remember playing Midnight Club and all that shit. Like to me, Playgrounds, like what Forza should just corner the whole racing market. Right now they have, you know, your track simulators with Forza Motorsports, and you have your
mm,
kind of open world with Forza Horizon. What they need to do is one, add police chasing in Forza Horizon, and then if they want, they can create a whole new Forza for like the people that want to do drag racing and you know use that nitrous oxide type racing, maybe like a Fast and the Furious type game. You know,
mhm.
like they want to do that. To me, that's what
Yeah.
they need to do. You know, have like kind of Call of Duty it up instead of having it to be Forza Motorsports, Forza Horizon, and then those two games going every other year. Put a third game in
Yeah.
there because you're gonna have people. One, racing people that love racing games are gonna buy them every year, just like people that love Madden are gonna buy them every year, or baseball or football or basketball or whatever, right? You know, those people buy those games every year. So you know, it's racing as a sport, but you're giving them
Mhm.
options. Not everybody wants to do simulation. Not everybody wants to do open world, and not everybody wants to do street racing. But if you give them all those options in a cycle, oh, they'll take it.
Yeah. I think that you know, you kind of sparked something when you were talking about the racing and how, you know, they have the Forza Horizon, they have the Motorsport. Um, it would be absolutely insane if they would try to basically have its playground that does the Forza franchise.
Horizon. So
They
everything
okay,
is
so they,
built by Turn 10 builds everything for the most part, and then Playground, Forza Horizon stuff. So they do all the crazy like driving through people's backyard shit and doing all
uh
the Hot Wheels tracks and all that stuff. That's for
yeah,
Playground.
yeah. I what I think would be really cool if they could team up um Turn 10 and team up a developer that is focused in story and maybe, you know, action combat or anything that, you know, could bring a whole new layer to that a racing game that isn't just racing, because I like racing games but I can only stand them for so long. I think you know, a game that kind of has that Fast and the Furious feel where
Hmm.
you're, you know, you do, it's a storyline and it's not like The Crew, it's not like that, but it actually has like, you know, combat, like deep you know, car physics and shit like that. I think in the future the racing genre can go in so many ways and it doesn't have to be that tactile simulated type. A lot of people love that, but the
Hmm.
majority of people, to make a racing game really appeal to the young, to the old, and to the middle aged,
So
I
maybe
think it would.
like a take Forza's cars and engines and mix it with Mad Max's combat
Oh my god, yeah,
within
like
Forza's world, you know,
yeah,
and
yeah.
then you have, you know, a racer or like it'd be like what's that movie? It was like Dead Race with Jason Statement. Uh,
Um,
what was it? Dead Race or
Deathstroke. No, I know what you're talking about. Death Race.
yeah, I think it was
The
yeah,
one-
Death Race. Yeah, when they were like in
It might be
prison and they
Death
had to
Race.
race for their freedom.
Yeah, yeah, good movie.
Yeah, so something like that. Yeah, okay, I could feel
Yeah,
that. Yeah, I was thinking, you know, Fast and the Furious, the game would be cool. I mean, at this point, that's pretty much what Fast and Furious is. It's not really just them driving cars. Yes, they do that, but it's not just that. So if
Yeah.
they wanted to go that route, that would be cool.
I would love to see a combat oriented racing game that has that level of graphic fidelity and also um, the mechanics behind driving. I think that like taking it to the next level where when you're doing NASCAR or something, like if you wreck, that type of enhanced crash mechanic is going to take place. Like shit like that, really innovating in these certain genres is needed, whether it's
yeah.
on Sony
Trying to
or
remember,
Microsoft's.
wasn't there a game that Vin Diesel was in where you could climb outside, you could drive a car, and
Yep.
while you're driving the car, you could jump out your car and jump onto somebody else's car and take their car?
Yeah.
It was like
I think it
Driver or
was
something
called
like.
Drifter. I think Drifter. Let me check it out.
I remember Vin Diesel being, they also did something like that in Sleeping Dogs that you do, jump on people's cars and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Oh, it was called Wheelman.
Oh, Wheelman. Okay. Yeah. So if you get,
Yeah.
like, to me, that's, you give people the ability to drive cars like in Forza, because that's one thing that Forza has above most race is just their physics, mechanics. The cars just drive like cars. I mean, the
Mhm.
only other game that's not really a racing game that drives well enough is probably Grand Theft Auto.
Yeah.
You know,
And they
like,
just got that too. Like
yeah,
with five, they just got to the point where it's real enough to pass
yeah,
as somewhat of a simulation. Not quite, but it's good enough.
yeah. So if you give, you know, playgrounds the ability to do something like that, or maybe they are, because I know they're making an RPG or something like that or whatever. So maybe that RPG has something to do with cars in it, because we don't know if it's just
Yeah.
we don't know what kind of RPG it is. But with all the power in the box, why not just use it
Yeah.
all?
Oh my God, dude, from what we know of the Scorpio, this is going to be a powerful fucking console. Very powerful. Not when it, like, not like, and it's no stretch to say that basically when you're picking up the Scorpio, you're basically investing in a console that will last you a good 4 to 5 years, and not like the console we have currently, where it's on its last leg. Both Sony and Microsoft's console right now, they really
Yeah.
can't push it too much farther without innovating on how they're checkerboarding the fidelity and how whether or
Yeah.
not the Scorpio is going to be the most powerful console, that's here or there. It is a very powerful console nonetheless, and with its I forget what it was. It was like they're going to be using it's like 50% faster when it comes to frame rates. And have you seen? Here, let me go back a second. Have you seen the dev kit for the Xbox Scorpio yet?
Yeah, I've seen pieces of it, so I know that it's a beast.
Have you?
One of the things I did notice about when I was watching Dealer's one of his latest videos was him talking about them potentially using like a manipulated 30 frames per second kind of intersplice, so it could be 60 frames. So it appears to be 60 frames, even though it's really not fully 60 frames. So you could pretty much get the feel of 60, but not use the full power of 60, therefore
Mhm.
allowing you to use the rest on other things within the world. So yeah, they might not need to do that now, but if they have the option to do that in the future when the console gets older, that would be real nice, because then that extends it even further.
Yeah, and there was a comment here saying you're joking, right? Still talking about power. Where the hell are the games? Well, E3 is coming up, and that is the big day, and that is June 11th, where Microsoft will be holding their open door press conference, where they're going to be showing off the Scorpio, and alongside the Scorpio, they're going to be showing off their next year and a half up to 2 years of titles that will be launching on Scorpio and on the Xbox One. And I think, we have to talk about the power of the console, because we have to let you might know how powerful the console is, but a lot of people do not know the power of the console that is coming, because this console is doubling almost everything when it comes to what the hardware is. So this console, like Wirez has just said, I'm not sure all about the splicing and all of that when it comes to the frames per second, but from what we saw with the dev kit, the 60 frames per second is a now norm for the console. So we won't have a 30 frame per second problem anymore, where these games are being held back. So with this 60 frame per second kind of you know line they're drawing, we're going to be able to do a lot more now. So I think, of course, we all want to hear about the fucking games, but E3 is that time, and it's literally 20 days away. So,
but the thing is, like, they're talking, like, with the dev kits, they're talking about making games better. Like, imagine if, I mean, granted, State of Decay 2 is already coming out, but you know how buggy State of Decay 1 is, right? Imagine if we get to play that State of Decay 1 on the Xbox Scorpio, and it fixed a lot of those issues. That shit will be amazing.
Yeah.
Even though I might not play it because I'm playing part 2, but it's still amazing.
Yeah. The thing with State of Decay is, even on like a very, very high end PC, it still suffers from frame rate issues, mainly because of the coding and the way it was first developed was in a very it was constrained by a 2 gigabyte development limit. I'm not quite sure what that means in development terms, but I do know that it means
why that persisted even when because they didn't really, I guess they didn't, they obviously they added 1080p and all that stuff. And actually, did they make it 60 frames? I can't remember.
No,
because they still had the frame rate issues and the bugs and glitches. But I also know it was made with the Crytek engine, which is like, it's great for the people that like that, solely work on Crytek, but it's not a great engine for just development in general, because it has a lot of restrictions to it.
Yeah, and that's the great thing about Save Decay 2 is they're moving on to Unreal Engine 4, which many people know Unreal Engine 4 is kind of the trademark when it comes to making a goddamn title, because Crytek was the engine that blew people away before. Now Unreal Engine is Unreal Engine 4 is that engine now, and Unreal Engine 4 is going to produce the game we wanted from that. And I goddamn, like, I have a whole thing about it. I cannot wait to see what Save Decay 2 does, and that being one of the biggest exclusives we know about with Xbox, I think it's kind of it's really just an open game when it comes to whether or not that's going to be a game that comes out and then sparks interest for Xbox.
Yeah, the thing about certain engines people don't understand is, like, one, when you're comfortable with a specific engine, that can determine how well you do at making a game. The other thing is the freedom of it and how fine you can make things look, because you can make things look extremely well, fine-tuned, but guess what? Certain engines, like, think about it, like Crytek games were like Crysis and
I think Far Cry. No, Far Cry was on the.
That was on
CryEngine.
I don't think it was CryEngine.
No, I'm thinking of. I don't.
No, what was Wirez. The only 2 games I really remember is Wirez. Obviously, it's State of Decay, and it's Crysis. I mean, I'm pretty sure there's others, but those are the only games I can really think of. But with Wirez and Crysis, those games are extremely linear. Like, you basically go from one area, right, and you move to the next. Like, State of Decay 1, you're not even allowed to have but so much memory. But two, it's an open world game, so
Yeah.
you're working with a whole different scenario. There wasn't that much going on in Rise and Crisis as far as like you know multiple enemies in the same capacity. So I mean, with that and the lack of substantial amount of memory, I mean that could have played those could have played real huge factors into that.
Mhm.
And then just the freedom to do certain things, based on what your engines are. Like you might make a mistake, you might want to go back and change things, but guess what? Because you're on a certain engine, it prohibits you to do it easily. So therefore, you have to find these roundabout ways to do it. But then it suffers from issues, due to you trying to fix a problem that occurred that you just couldn't go back and fix any other way because for whatever reason, it's just one is just the time. So it's like, all right, you risk not putting the game out and having to kind of do an overhaul for something that's a small problem, but it's the way it's stuck is within a chain of a whole bunch of other shit that once you move it, then you have to fix all this other shit in code. It's just a big headache. So they
Yeah.
might have just had to just say, fuck it, we have to just leave it. We can't fix it even when it came to doing the updated version for the Xbox One because they already knew that they were working on State of Decay 2, even when they were giving us the upgrade, the year, was it the survival year or day of the survival edition?
Year one survival edition.
Yeah,
I think I misspoke. Yes, it is Cry Engine, not Cry Tech. That is correct. But uh, and that's referring to State of Decay running on, and that is the Cry Engine. But with
yes.
State of Decay 2 running on Unreal Engine 4, I think that just talking exclusive right now for Xbox right now, that is the only exclusive that is in sight. And that's kind of a scary thing. I love State of Decay, and I cannot fucking wait for State of Decay 2. But I also am kind of afraid that, that's the only exclusive for that console that is in the foreseeable future. As of right now, obviously E3 we're going to hear some shit, but for this year, State of Decay 2 is going to be a big seller because it is kind of it's the only game that people are going to be able to say, hey, this is the game I bought this console for.
Well, you
And
can't forget about Crackdown. Can't forget
well,
about that game.
yeah, it's just with Crackdown, I haven't heard really anything about it launching this year.
Well, yeah,
Probably
they said it was going to launch this year. Well,
did
they
they?
said, yeah, they said that Crackdown, State of Decay, obviously there's going to be a Forza, and Sea of Thieves are supposed to launch this year. Now, Sea of
Okay.
Thieves, I don't know. I'm in the alpha, and I don't know because they don't in the alpha they don't show you but so much. It's like you only see a small glimpse into the world. It's almost like you're just going on a tour, but you don't see everything.
Yeah.
So therefore, it's hard to really say, "Oh, okay, I know exactly what this game is," because they're not like the big shit about the game. They're not like you can't go on any missions, any quests, like any real missions, real quests.
Hmm.
Uh, they don't allow you to because everything is closed off. Like you can't see any of that stuff. But you can get a feel for what the game is. Like that's what they allow you to do in that game, which is still cool because um, just understanding how to pirate a ship. You would think, oh, it's just like The Witcher. You just jump in a boat and aim to
Hmm.
go forward. No, it's way more to it than that because you got to actually know how to sail into the wind, sail with
Mm.
the wind, know how to turn on a dime. Especially like think about it if you're playing because you're going to be playing against other pirate ships. Like so, whoever's crew is the most skilled at being able to maneuver a ship as well as firing cannons.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're going to be a beast in that game because you could be like, oh man, I had them dead to right, but they know how to turn the ship fast enough to get on get you either broadside or get you in a position where they can lower your ship by putting a bunch of holes in your bottom deck. man, it's gonna be rough, man. But the game is like what I say is it's fun, and if they make it VR, people are going to lose their mind in that game. Now I don't know how that's going to work. I mean, obviously it's first person, so it should work fairly well, but I don't know how that's going to work as far as keeping a VR headset on all day. I don't know. That's
Yeah,
that's a
I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to read up a bit on Sea of Thieves because from what I've seen so far, it looks interesting. I just have no idea how it's gonna work. Whether is it like an MMO or is it kind of like a hub type where you basically have like 16 players in a hub world, or is it bigger than that?
well, it's hard for me to even say, man. Yeah, I mean, because all right, basically you start and what they tell you is it's like from 1 to 100, right? That's what they tell you on the when you look at the game and Xbox. But when you're actually in the lobby, there I think it's like four players you could play with. So it's not that many, but nothing's finite. They're just testing servers and making sure things work. And we're like, they give you a new enemy to fight. You got to fight this guy. How's it, feel to fight this guy? Is he wonky? Is he good? Do you feel it's fair? Not fair? Like what do you think? They add little certain things here and there. They still got to add wildlife to the game. Because there's supposed to be sharks that in the water, dolphins, whales, all that stuff, fish, birds, land animals, like all that stuff. They got to add to the game. Like they might have on their build, but they're not giving that to us as of yet. And I don't know if they will ever give it to us, because it depends on what they need to test. If they don't need to test certain things, they're not going to just throw it in there. Just like, oh, just look at the whole game here, have at it. Like, no, they want to leave some story. They're not going to.
Is it?
Huh?
Do you think is it going to go to a? Is it going to be like an Xbox preview type of thing? Are they going to start it in that, or are they going to launch this thing?
No, I was told it was. From what I saw, it was a $60 title.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be like Destiny, as far as I know, like something along those lines. Destiny at sea, I guess. Now I know they're supposed to have some kind of narrative because they do have like bosses and stuff like that. Like, you're a pirate ship, you might have to fight Blackbeard and something like that. I know you can play the game by yourself if you choose.
Mm-hmm.
So it has to have some kind of narrative to it. Because you could jump on a pirate ship if you want. But they said that in the forums, the creator said that they'll also provide solo boats that you can jump on. Like when you basically you just land on an island. Have you ever played Ark Survival?
I played probably like 2 hours of it.
Okay, so Ark Survival. Think about it as like Ark and stuff where you don't have to do all that eating and drinking and all that dumb shit. I don't like. That's what I didn't like about Ark. I was like, oh man, I'm dead in 10 minutes because I forgot to drink water. What kind of shit is this?
Yeah, that's what I experienced. It was too harsh on all of that like crap where I just kind of wanted to see dinosaurs and shit.
Yeah, so yeah, for Sea of Thieves, it's not like that. But what they're saying is that you can they'll have a boat and you can jump on the boat and you can kind of just go off on your own adventures. Now the thing is, like from what I've discovered, is they have like in-depth, different cavern and places that you could discover.
Mm-hmm.
Like a lot of these places don't have things there, but you could tell like something's supposed to be there, but it's not there yet because they didn't put it in there.
Yeah.
And I can see like, all right, something that's going to be here with a big treasure. You're going to have to fight whatever this is. You're not going to be able to do this shit by yourself. And that reminds me of Destiny. It's like, oh, you want to get this treasure. It's like this big, massive loot. And, you kill this creature, you get the loot, and now you can go and take that money and you'll probably get money individually and then you get money collectively, right? So you go in and be like, all right, we can upgrade the ship, maybe put better cannons on with more damage, better sails, all kinds of shit.
Yeah.
So I can see like that's how they'll keep people in there, like the customization, because I know that's that's mainly what that is about. Like their microtransactions, you know, allowing people to have Gears of War bandanas and shit like that. That's what's going to get people to,
Mhm.
you know,
Yeah,
go crazy.
it's sounds like a really cool experience. I just I would like to have them market it at least, or at least I don't know.
Yeah, I
Maybe
don't
at
think.
E3 they're
Well,
going to
they're
talk
probably
more about it.
at this point. I mean, I don't think they're marketing anything until after E3. I think that's
Of
what
course.
they're saving all their money for. You know, they probably at this point, Microsoft's probably like, look, man. I mean, we could market, but what are we going to market? Look, they just dropped Halo Wars and didn't market that game at all.
Yeah.
But I mean, obviously, it's a niche. I mean, look, they marketed it as much as Sony marketed Gravity Rush. But the problem
Hmm.
is they don't have anybody promoting the game other than themselves. You know,
Yeah.
so you know that's what you. I don't know how Microsoft fixes that. That's the thing I don't get. Like the media, I don't know. I don't know.
Yeah. The that's what the. It's hard because I did a whole video about how the media is just staying away from State of Decay, and that is kind of a that is just one game that they're not talking about, but there's a slew of Xbox titles that they could be talking about, and that would then motivate Microsoft to get those titles ready and put them out there.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, I guess it's up to YouTubers to try to promote the games because the media won't do it.
Yeah,
But it just sucks that it feels like it's you got to make it your job to do it because they won't, which is their job.
right.
It's like if you're a like if you're a student and you go to school and you be like, "Fuck, my teacher won't teach me shit, so I got to actually teach it to myself."
Yeah, it's yeah.
Like I
We're
wish
more
you would like pull out the textbook and be like, you know what? This is what we're going to learn today. But no, the bitch want to sit over there and fucking drink coffee and tell us about how fucked up the world is for her. Well, guess
yeah.
what?
It's
That's
like
your fucking problem.
it's basically like we're more passionate about these titles than they are, and that's just the truth.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, but I mean, hopefully it'll get better. I mean, I think you'll see people transition and kick things up a
Yeah,
little bit more, especially when the new hardware comes out.
yeah.
Because I think
It's
I think a lot of people just stuck with PlayStation more so because look, man, multi-plats were ran better, and maybe they just felt like, all right, they didn't have to. If the multi-plats run better, and maybe they felt they had their fill on Halo, like because there's people like that. They was
mhm,
like, oh yeah, I'm done with Halo. Halo 3 was over. I don't have to go and play another Halo again. So maybe
yeah,
that's why they stayed away. And same thing for Gears. I already played the last Gears, so I don't have to play another Gears, right? And they jumped on
mhm,
PlayStation and they're kind of experiencing that stuff, right? Because that's a whole new world for them, which
yeah,
is cool. But then when you give those same people that said, "Well, I need the best console multiplat option," and they're like, "Well, look, I've been on PlayStation for the last 4 years. I didn't get an Xbox. They got this new one out. It does
mhm.
everything better. Why not? I'll try it." You
Yep.
know.
And that's when it will all flip again, and that's just how it is. I wish it could just be, if whichever one you prefer, it doesn't matter. Everybody's gonna be able to play the same things, but that's just not how it is.
The thing I do like is the fact that they're at least Microsoft doesn't seem like they're trying to copy anybody else, right? Sony has their lane; they do what they do, and I know a lot of people that say no, Microsoft should just come out and just do what Sony does, do the same thing. But I'm like, no. Why do
Yeah,
you want the same game with different skin? Why? I don't want that. I want
yeah,
something different.
absolutely.
Like I don't want you to just be like, "Oh, Microsoft, make your own Horizon Zero Dawn." Why? Well,
Hmm.
you just played that game. What do you want another one?
Yeah,
No, I want it with a guy, and I want him with a dog, and instead of a bow and arrow, I want a shotgun. Like no, but I still want dinosaurs. No, no. Like I don't want to play that game. You know, like Sea of Thieves is nothing like what Sony has. State of Decay is nothing like Sony has. That's great. You know, Crackdown is nothing like Sony. This is the year that Xbox has games that are nothing like what Sony has, and the same thing vice versa. And Nintendo the same thing. Like nobody has the same games at all, other than the multi-class. This is perfect. So you get a taste of everything without feeling like you're playing. You just left one console to play the same damn game.
Yeah.
You know. I don't know. That's the way I feel about it.
Yeah.
But yeah.
E3, man. E3.
Yeah, it's gonna be big. It's gonna be big. I think it's gonna be big for both. I you know, we already kind of know what PlayStation is doing. They're just gonna kind of cement it, you know, forward. Like, all right, this is what we're doing next. Nintendo, obviously the same thing, you know, because they already just launched their console, so you already kind of know like where they're going. Like, to be honest, this is like, you know, this E3 is going to be, you know, Microsoft basically paving like what their objective is and how they're trying to push forward as far as in the gaming industry. And I at this point I realize that they're not trying to destroy other companies in order to become successful. You know, like Microsoft's not trying to be like, oh, Nintendo has a handheld, I'm going to make a handheld. Oh, Sony has whatever, God of War, Spider-Man, we're going to get something in X-Men. Like, they're not trying to do that. They're just trying to, you know, make good games. And that's all I'm really asking for them to do. Like that's all I want. I just want a good game. Give me Phantom Dust. I want another Phantom Dust. Give me that. Give me another Fable. I'll take that. You know.
Hey, maybe them putting Phantom Dust out right now is maybe an indication that might be something that they might want to do, and they might be showing at E3. You never know.
Yeah, I would hope so. I mean, it's.
I don't know the market for that because I wasn't a fan, but
oh man,
if it's big enough, I could.
I'm telling you, it's sneaky good. It's sneaky good. Like once you get past the graphics, because obviously it's an OG Xbox game, and yeah, it looks better than playing something like on the OG Xbox, but still, it's an OG Xbox game. Once you get past that, it's a damn good game. The multiplayer is where it's at, though. That's you know, like the campaign is just basically teaching you how to play the multiplayer. But that multiplayer is deep, like customization, like that thing is serious. Like, I didn't really understand what they meant when they were talking. Oh, it's ahead of its time. It's ahead of its time. I'm like, what, cards? Cards not like. I mean, I get it, but it's not that. It's like I've been playing this shit for like over 20, maybe almost 30 hours, right? And I don't even think I'm nowhere near how many decks. Like I'm not close to finishing the game. That's damn for sure. I'm probably halfway there, maybe. And you know, like the abilities that I see people playing, because a lot of times I just go online and see, all right, you know, such and such is playing Phantom Dust. Let me see. And it's always like some higher up, like some guy with some crazy ass rank. And I'm like, yo, this dude is doing shit I ain't even see in the game yet. Like, what the fuck? Like he's playing at some location that I've never played before. Because like at Phantom Dust, you play in the you basically play in areas over and over and over again. Like it'll be like three areas that you play in the same spot for like the first parts of a mission, and then you go forward. And I'm like, why do they always do this? Why are you always playing on the same map? And it's not because they can't, they don't have a lot of maps. Because I realized when I was looking, I was like, oh shit, they got a lot of maps. It's because they're teaching you how to play on that map, so you understand the ins and outs of how to fight on it. Because each map has its own advantages and weaknesses, and depending on how the style you're playing, what kind of powers they have, like all that shit, like environmentals, like you, like say if you have certain powers, you could fuck somebody up like real quick, just blowing shit up and throwing that shit on their head. Yeah. Like shit is crazy. Like, oh my god, I died in like 2 hits. Like, what the fuck?
I'll definitely have to check it out. It sounds interesting. It sounds deep, and sometimes, like a lot of the time, I have work and then I have the channel. So sometimes I just want to sit down and play something deep just to kind of lose my mind in. And that it sounds deep enough. I'll definitely check that shit out.
Yeah, the story is different. I give you that. Like that story is different. That's I was like, okay, like I'm in, like I said, I'm in chapter 5, and I got to a point where I'm like, I did not see that coming. Like I definitely like that's not what I thought this was going like at all. Like, but
Mhm.
it's cool. You know, the
But
acting's a little Japanesey, but you know, it is what
yeah,
it is. It's a Japanese game. It is to be expected.
yeah. Live. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, no doubt.
We I have plans to do something in the next week. I'll let you know more of the details, but it's going to be concerning E3,
Oh,
and we're
nice.
just gonna the whole thing is going to be about E3, and it's not. We're not going into what Xbox is doing. We're not going into what Sony's. We're just going to talk about what's going to happen for all platforms, because at the end of the day, the best place to talk about something is when there's no bias or uh, any type of negative feelings towards any certain group of players or anything like that. So I want to have you on. I'm going to try to get another host to come in, and we're going to talk about E3, all of our likes. I want you to come on because you're kind of the Xbox centric. You're really into Xbox. You really know a lot about that market and what's going on there, and so that's why I'd like to have you on. But I'll let you know more about that, behind the closed doors and shit.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
you
Sounds good.
uh, thanks for having me on. Can I do a quick
Oh
plug?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Go ahead.
Hey guys, thanks for having me. I was reading your guys' comments throughout the whole segment here, and I do a State of Decay coverage series where we talk about everything State of Decay 2. If you guys are interested in the title, I would suggest come out to the channel and check it out. Um, but other than that, live, thanks for having me. I'll try to come in here every so often and try to sneak attack you and snipe one of your live streams again.
All right, no problem.
But uh, but I really enjoyed the discussion. I thought it was productive, and I hope everybody enjoyed my time here. I did, and I'll see you guys in the future.
All right, sounds good, man. It's great having you.
All right, all right. See you later, brother.
All right, peace. All right, so this is your boy live. I'm about to sign off. You know what? Before I check out, and that was my boy Arky. I want to do some shout outs. Outs. I started earlier. DJ Singh, what's good? Ryan McFraud. That's a good one. Yeah, I know a lot of people are pissed about what he said about the parody shit. It is what it is. Who's next gamer? What's going on? Am I doing a live reaction to E3? Yes, I will be doing one. Probably, yeah, definitely. I think I'm gonna do it by myself though. I'm not gonna do it on a podcast just because a lot of times it's just way too loud. So I'm gonna do it by myself. I might do so I'll do my live reactions by myself, but then I might jump in with a group, maybe GRG or whomever after, and we'll discuss what happened because we got so we'll do the Microsoft conference. That'll be at 5. It'll probably be done at 7. I might do a live stream around maybe 9, 10, depending on when everybody's done. Probably 9, and that'll be Sunday. Then again, you know what? I don't know. I might have to save that for later because I think BGST will be on. So you know what? I might. You know what? Yeah. So I'll wait. I'll do my live stream, and then after BGST does, because that week's gonna be busy. I'll just jump on somebody's podcast and do that. So there I go. Or shit, I might be on BGST. Who knows? Who knows? I'm just everywhere. All right. Let's see. Dr. Gauntlet, what's going on? Oh, damn. Did nobody like Ryan McCaffrey? He ain't that bad. Said fuck Ryan and fuck Aaron Greenberg. Damn, what happened? He needs to spread the word and advertisement more. Man, you got to ease upon Aaron Greenberg. He can't, they're on lockdown. They can't spread nothing right now. Unfortunately, it sucks. It sucks. They need to talk about shit more, but unfortunately, right now, they're tight-lipped. I guess the thing is because the last couple of years, that shit has always kept on getting leaked from Microsoft's pressers. So they're just like, look, don't say nothing. Don't talk about nothing. When after E3, you can talk all you want, but until then, keep your lip shut. That's probably what they've been saying. So All right. So what's up, Pre-Raw Dusa? What's going on? Probably gave Xbox $5 to the market. I don't wait. What? Oh, he says, okay, I got you. He's talking about that they probably only gave Xbox $5 for the marketing. I hope not. That would be crazy. Other Zinc, what's going on? Again, Ryan McCaffrey's spearheading the Halo hate almost 2 years before release. Man, I don't even know what he said. What the fuck? Wow, well shit. I'll have to go back and check that. I didn't know it was that bad. I just bought Halo 5. Don't know what to think of the multiplayer though. D Wayne just said that. Well, man, you gotta jump in there, man. You know what? Halo 5 multiplayer is deep. There's a lot of shit to do in there, sir. There's a lot. I mean, you got breakout. You got obviously the arena multiplayers. You got Warzone. You got Warzone Firefight. Then you have all the big team battles. Then you have the little custom matches. You got SWAT. There's a lot of shit in there. You kind of just got to play everything, and then figure it out. What you like to play the most. There's a lot of options, man. You can play that game how you want to. Kanos, what's going on? Let's see who else is up in here. They got Bert. Why Xbox podcasters overreact to these dumb announcements? People are acting like abused spouses. Okay, I don't understand, but okay. Let's see. Master Jazz. Worst things in life. Let people do what they want to do. I don't know what that's pertaining to, so I'll just leave it from there. Let's see. Lawbreakers, meh. Nigel, yeah, I feel you. It's not my thing, but look, man, to each their own. I mean, there's people. I love Phantom Dust. Like, it's crazy because I didn't watch it I played the game, when it originally launched, but now that I'm playing it now, even with it being an old game, I'm still enjoying the shit out of it. So, hey, I like it, but somebody could look at me playing it and be like, fuck that game. It doesn't look the way I want it to look, or shit, Phantom Dust could look, like fucking the best looking game ever, right? And somebody might still say they don't like it because they don't like cards, or they don't like the fact that I run around with powers, or why do you have a charging ability? That's stupid. I don't like charging. Like, whatever the fuck. People always have like different preferences, so it is what it is. Joe Sinister, what's going on? Phantom does have a story, really good one. 2, yes, I am playing it. It's pretty solid. I must admit. I didn't really come in with crazy expectations for Phantom Dust. I heard the story was decent enough. Now I must admit I don't read everything that everybody writes when I'm talking to them in the little chat boxes, on Phantom Dust, because I'm just like, half this time I'm reading that shit, I'm like, I don't even understand how this pertains to me. Whatever. But what I do read is, only when I can't, like, if they say something relevant as far as like, oh, you got to go see this person, for this mission. All right, cool. I'll read that. Other than that, I'm just watching cutscenes. All right, let's see. Anybody else? Cypherman, what's going on? Never heard of Lawbreakers till today. You and many people, sir. Like, it's like they're only it's been out for like like they've been talking about it for like 2 years, been out for about a year, maybe a year and a half as far as the alpha. And yeah, like people on PC have been playing it, but not like crazy. It's like whatever. Like it's okay. All right, anybody else? Think that might be it. Let's see. I'm still looking. Wait, hold up. I think I saw somebody. Raging Storm just buy a PlayStation. I don't know. I'm thinking. But the thing is, oh man, buy a PlayStation. If I'm getting a PlayStation, it's gonna be after the Scorpio. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm not buying a PlayStation 4 before I get the Scorpio. Chris Jones, Cliffy B is done with Xbox, I guess. I mean, possibly. Doesn't matter to me. I didn't like the game. Like the game doesn't interest me, so. But you might be right, sir. Let's see. Anybody else? Oh, wait, hold up. Sticky Slug. Your logo is dope. Wait, is it my logo or somebody else's logo? I don't know. All right, if it's for my logo, cool. Thank you very much. For somebody else's logo, all right. I'm pretty sure they're appreciative of it as well. Let's see. Oh wait, I saw somebody up in here. Mondo Zappo. It's a MOBA, guys. Oh, yeah, he must be talking about. It's not Red Dead or anything big. Triple. I'm trying to think. What game is he talking about? I don't know. Maybe he was talking about what we were talking about, or they're talking about something in the chat. There's so much shit up in here. It's hard for me to tell. Oh no, he's definitely talking about Lawbreakers. All right, so I guess Lawbreaker is a MOBA, at least according to Mondo Zappo. I mean, I don't know. I didn't play it. It looks like Overwatch to me a bit, but hey. But he says people need to stop crying about a MOBA that no one cares about. I can see people getting upset if it was a game like Red Dead 2 or something. Yeah, I feel you on that. Like to me, it's not. It was, to me, it's like people crying about Lawbreakers is like somebody be like, oh my god, Microsoft doesn't have a game that I even know I even think I even wanted. I think. Like, it's like what? Craig Harris, what's good? He says, yes, Microsoft has billions, not Xbox. Haha. Well, no, yeah, it's a division. It's not like Xbox is in its own thing. So it is what it is. PS4 and PC are the way to go. I guess unless you have Xbox and PC, then that's the way to go. That's if you like PC, that's the thing. If you're not a PC guy, then we'll get both consoles if you want. To me personally, I don't really have time to play both. I play so many games on Xbox. It's hard for me to even say to really try to get on the PlayStation. I mean, I just got a lot of games to play, man. It's just so many, it's ridiculous. No, Sadiq, yeah, you go crazy. Says PlayStation is shit. Sorry to tell you. It's not bad consoles. Hey, if they like it, look, man, look, if you like it, if people like PlayStation, that's cool. I don't have a problem with people liking PlayStation. You know what I have a problem with? I have a problem with people telling me that I'm supposed to like PlayStation. That's what the problem I have with. Like, if my preference is, if my present preference was fucking handhelds, let it be fucking handhelds. But don't tell me that I'm not supposed to like handhelds because you don't like handhelds. What kind of shit is that? Like, to me, like, there's people that like Nintendo DS and that's it. That's all they care about. They don't care about PlayStation, Xbox, PC, none of that. They just want to play what they can play on the DS. And that's, to me, that's cool. That's what you like, you know? But don't tell me that Monster Hunter is the best thing ever because I don't, you know, I'm like, look, man, that's well and good for you. You can have it, enjoy it. But for me, I'm cool. I'm sorry. It's like, I like what I like. I'm not shitting on what you like. So don't shit on what I like. We got Plob 6759. Check out Lawbreak. I checked out Lawbreakers gameplay. It looks like Titanfall 2 without Titans. Fuck that. Yeah, I feel you. That was the same thing I said too. I was like, nah. But all right, man. This is your boy Livewire. I'm about to get out of here. It was fun chatting with y'all. You know, I'll probably, you know what, depending on what pops out in the next couple of days, you know what, I might put up another video, you know, throw something up here. I haven't done any tunes as of late. You know, I was working on an ad, but then I just stopped. So maybe I'll jump back on to try to pop something out, and you either hear it here or on the MMC morning show. But anyway, this is your boy Livewire. And I'm out this bitch, baby. Peace.